realize, it made me wake up, and it made me say, you know what? He's right. I don't need to put up with this political correctness anymore. I can stand up for my rights. Hello, my name is Florence, and I am Alaskan Native, obviously. But anyway, as a minority, my family, my community, my whole community, were told, you're a Democrat because Democrat helps the minorities, and that's how I grew up. But as life changed for me and I experienced hardships, as a result, I turned to seeking God about my hardships and discovering that, everything that He says is true. So, anyway, my hardships continued. So I didn't pay attention to politics, because I was too busy with my hardships. But the time that I realized that politics are or the media, at least, was portraying the politics as the truth and the right way to go. So I was kind of confused because they used the words politically correct and inclusion and all those fancy words, where you as a Christian think that, maybe you were wrong, and maybe it is, you have to accept people. But over time, I began to be overwhelmed by so much of the political correctness into my belief. And so I started to hear, or started to pay attention to politics. And over time, thankfully, I was starting to be aware, but over time, Trump ran, and what he said in his campaign, his first campaign, 2016, I realized that the government isn't always correct, even though they say politically correct. So I realized that we can stand up against the government, because the policies that they're making is causing me as my faith to be uncomfortable. And then I realized that the opponent, who was Hillary at that time, went against what I believed in, which was pro-life. And Trump was against that too. So that was my primary reason why I decided to switch for the first time in my life. And I didn't understand why, but it was my belief. I didn't understand why. I had the nerve, or I had the inkling, or I had the pushing or inspiration to to choose someone that I've never associated with, because I always thought, in his previous life he was a rich man, and he had all these jobs, but now he's running for president. But at the same time, he's against these things, against the things that I believed in as a Christian. So, sorry, it's all hitting home to me. But I wanted to say that Trump stood for my belief, and I couldn't believe that you can change policies just by standing up. And he brought up the fact that, you can bring back America the way it used to be, based on our forefathers. And yes, I'm going to say ours, because, this country was born on my doorstep, and, by nature's default, I became an American, and I'm really grateful for that, because I understood the forefathers and their claim to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And my background in wanting to pursue this since junior high, I've always wanted to make sure people are receiving or getting that. And the liberal, or at least the Democrats, seemed to be against it. And Trump was saying things different, and it made me realize, it made me wake up, and it made me say, you know what? He's right. I don't need to put up with this political correctness anymore. I can stand up for my rights, my God-given rights. The Creator endowed it to me, and I pass these rights on to my kids, because we deserve it. We're human, we're created, and because of my belief. And I'm grateful that Trump, is standing up for us. Thank God. Thank you.
For more great videos, download the Walkaway Social app at walkawaysocial.com. Share your testimonial and join our community.